Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie from the Knowledge Translation team, and I'm going to very briefly talk to you about communities of practice. So the first question you might have is, what is a community of practice? So this is a definition from someone named Etienne Wenger, and he is considered to be the father of communities of practice. So he informs all of the information that I'm sharing with you today. So he defines communities of practice as groups of people who share a concern or a passion for something they do, and they learn how to do it better as they interact regularly. And so there's some important distinctions of a community of practice that make it unique compared to other methods of gathering people together. The first is the domain. So a community of practice is not merely a club of friends or a network of connections between people. It has an identity that's defined by a shared domain of interest, and membership implies a commitment to that domain and therefore a shared competence, so to speak, that distinguishes members from other people. So it's different than, say, a network you may belong to where you don't know the other members. The second piece that makes it unique is the community. So in pursuing their interest in whatever the domain is that's bringing people together in this community of practice, members engage in joint activities, discussions, they help one another, they share information, they build relationships basically that enable them to learn from one another, and they care about their standing with each other as well. And the last piece that makes a community of practice unique is the fact that it's not merely a community of interest. It's not, for example, people who like certain kinds of movies. It's basically a community where the people who are a part of it are practitioners, is what we call them. They develop a shared repertoire of resources. They share experiences, they share stories, they share tools or even co-create tools, and they discuss ways of addressing reoccurring problems in their practice, and they share that experience together. And this takes sustained time and interaction to do. And lastly, what's the benefit of a community of practice? So here are some very top level benefits, and of course there are more. But the first one is peer-to-peer learning, of bringing people together so that they can learn from one another in a space where they feel comfortable sharing their expertise and knowledge with one another. The second is that new relationships are developed. So you're bringing together people that might not otherwise have had the chance to get together and share their knowledge and experiences with one another. The third is innovative problem solving. So in a good community of practice where there's a sense of trust and security, people aren't afraid to be innovative and creative in their problem solving, and you can get some really cool ideas out of a group of people who are connecting as a community of practice. And lastly, there's also the opportunity for collaboration or partnership on projects for people who are in that community of practice together. So that's a whistle-stop tour of what a community of practice is, what are the things that make it different than the other ways that we may organize people, and what some of the benefits are. And I hope that was helpful.